What up, guys? Mad Scientist 7890 here with MVP Sheer on the RSTS Express Wrestling channel here, and he's on via Skype. The
On Skype, bitches.
on the via Mizzou campus. Gentleman and a scholar here, and Mr. MVP Sheer. So he is currently not live. So we're gonna do this video with me here, and then him on Skype. And basically, we're gonna do the rundown of Raw here. Some interesting stuff going on. Me personally, I was hoping, to see the development of, the storylines going into WrestleMania, and I think they did that. I'd probably say 70% of the show. They did a good job of pushing storylines and stuff like that. But we'll get on here with the beginning here, and basically, they teased the idea of CM Punk and Daniel Bryan have a match again, and they definitely did. But before they did, Punk come out, Jericho came out, and Jericho and Punk had this great back and forth argument, and really setting this up the way that I wanted to see it, as it being best in the world versus best in the world kind of thing. And Punk basically saying, I want to go out here and have a match and have, one of the best matches in WrestleMania ever, which is going to be a hard thing to do. But this was great here. This promo and this setup that they did here with Punk and Jericho. Obviously, these guys, both these guys can talk, and the crowd ate every minute of it up. So what do you think about that, Mr. Sheer?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first segment of the show. The fact that he said he wanted to have the best wrestling, scientific match in WrestleMania history. That's really lofty expectations, I believe. I don't know if he'll quite reach that. But, I enjoyed the back and forth banter. It's kind of what I wanted, Rock and Cena to be at the end of the show, which it definitely was much better than what we got at the end. I'm glad that they had reports that they were going to play an injury angle with Jericho having the, head injury, and that was going to lead into WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. I definitely enjoy the Best in the World storyline better. I kind of just felt like the whole, first 35 minutes of the show was just, a huge angle, including, the match and the aftermath of the match, too, if you want to go into that.
Yeah, they ended up having the CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan match. Definitely not up to par with the other two they had, but
no, not even close.
Yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans going on. They were really playing up this storyline with the GMs. Obviously, looking like they're going to do some GM versus GM match at WrestleMania.
Can I say I really hope it's not going to be John Laurinaitis versus Teddy Long at WrestleMania?
Oh, God.
But I wouldn't put it past them if they did that.
I really even hope that it's not Santino versus Otunga.
Oh, God, that would be... You know what? I wouldn't have as much of a problem with that just because of how just mega over Santino is with the fans. It's just ridiculous, the crowd reactions he gets.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, what else would make sense there? Honestly, what else could they do? What else? They're not setting up for anything really right now. It seems like they're kind of slow burning this, but they're slow burning it too much to where they're not going to have enough time at the end to make anything make sense.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this. I'd hope that they would do maybe a team thing, because it looks like they haven't started anything with Money in the Bank. They haven't. They did a little thing earlier in the night that I have an idea maybe what they might do, but I don't know. It seems like they might do a team versus team, heel versus face, GM kind of thing. Hopefully they do that instead of having a one-on-one match with two crappy people nobody care about.
I could see them doing a team-based thing, but I think the fact that they already have 4 main events set, I feel like a team-based, a big, say 5-on-5 tag team match would possibly take too long. And I honestly think they should go, and I think it would make sense, Orton versus Ziggler at Mania. I think it would make sense.
I think that would work. I think that would work if they were going to pick representatives.
Because Ziggler is basically Laurinaitis' boy. That's his guy. Where he was, and now Tonga's his guy now. But they could easily slide him back into being one of Laurinaitis' guys or something to that effect. Or they can do another Christian Orton. Honestly, they could end this at WrestleMania. They had a perfect feud over the summer. I'm sure they could. They're fresh enough now where they can have another match at WrestleMania and it'd be another top quality match.
Yeah.
My opinion.
From what they did at the Rumble and bringing out Mark Henry and Christian and Del Rio, it looks like they may do a 3-on-3 or something like that, which...
It's possible.
I don't know. It just seems like they would use these other guys that are getting off of injuries. But that is what it is. Good opening segment with the promo. The match was okay, and then they're really building towards a storyline. So overall, it was okay.
Then the Jericho slamming Punk on the steel.
Yeah. Yeah, that
they sold that move like it was death, like a body slam.
He's not doing the Walls of Jericho, and he's doing the Lion Tamer, the
Yeah, he's
original.
doing the Lion Tamer. I like that.
So I think that's a good move, and really working with it. Hopefully this match, I'm expecting great things out of this match. So next we got here showing a video package of Taker, basically looking really like made him look like a bitch kind of, but I think it's really building towards a storyline with this. Neither guy was on the show tonight, so they had to have something really building towards that.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised neither guy was on the show. I think they didn't want to like overshadow like Cena and Rock. Like that was a big deal to keep both those guys off the show.
Yeah.
Because they obviously want Cena and Rock to be their main event, but when you book Triple H versus Undertaker in Hell in a Cell, some people are going to want to see that more than Cena and Rock, honestly. And I honestly think it could be a better match. Maybe not wrestling-wise, but like, star rating-wise, I think it could be a better match than Cena and Rock.
I could see that. I definitely could see that. So next we got Kelly versus Nikki Bella. I mean, literally nothing here. Just I think to really further a storyline maybe with Kelly and Eve, which I'll get to. Basic crappy women's match. Nothing there. They basically say during this match that Kelly did a tweet or something to Eve. And
she called Eve Torres a skank.
Yeah, well.
Which is funny because Randy Orton called her a skank like 8 months ago. I mean, I guess it takes one to know one, even though Eve's not truly a skank.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Next, they have this Miz versus Cena match. Now, I remember just reading here that Vince is laying down the law here with people getting injured, and if Cena gets injured here, I'm almost expecting whoever it is going to get fired if they injure Cena before WrestleMania.
They put the Miz in there after he.
It almost seems like they want to have him prove himself.
He did catch R-Truth, so good thing John Cena doesn't do topes outside the fucking ring.
Yeah.
Because obviously Miz is probably secretly hoping Cena gets injured so he can have his match against The Rock at WrestleMania 28. That'd be a crap fest.
Cena wins here. I mean, squash made the Miz look bad. So I mean, the Miz.
I was actually surprised Miz got in any offense. I really was.
Yeah,
I thought they were just gonna squash him completely, but he got in a few moves.
And then they have The Rock backstage afterwards, just pumping it up and getting ready and doing the oh god, it was. Okay, I'm just mumbling now because just when I get to the ending here, I'm just gonna just shit all over it. But the next match here we got here is R-Truth and Kofi Kingston versus Ziggler and Swagger versus Primo and Epico. This was a pretty good spot type match. Now, what I was hoping that they might do if they're not going to do Money in the Bank, put these three teams. I know you don't want to see Dolph Ziggler in a tag match. You'd probably rather see him in a singles match. But these teams, right, three teams, really look like they're the only big named teams. Even Primo and Epico is not even a big name team.
I was kind of hoping Ziggler and Swagger were going to win the titles. But
that'd be cool to see. But I'm hoping I would love to see a triple ladder match. I don't know if they would go.
I don't think they would do a triple ladder. I think that's too much for the show. I get where you're going. It's WrestleMania, but that's a Hell in a Cell and a triple ladder match. And I mean, you've already got to devote almost at least an hour and a half, 2 hours of time to the first four matches you've announced. Adding a triple ladder match might get a little bit carried away. I'm not saying I would be against it if they did it. I'm just saying I don't think they're going that direction. Do we talk about? Did we already pass up the Shawn Michaels interview thing?
Oh no, I haven't even seen it yet, but I know he's going to be there next week. So
I haven't seen it either. My whole thing is I think that just Triple H Undertaker. I was talking to the Nathan Carter YT, and he wants some color in this match. He just wants to be a bloodbath. He wants to be super violent. He thinks they should bring back an Attitude Era style Hell in a Cell brawl, but he also thinks it might overshadow the other Hell in a Cell they do afterwards because there's trying to be color. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I've heard rumors.
You gotta think they did allow him to use chair shots in the last match.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them letting them do it in this. Even if they say no, they might just go on and do it anyway because they're Triple H. They might just do it anyway. But we got to get on here to the next thing.
Go ahead.
Basically, have Otunga and Ace backstage talking, and Teddy Long comes in and basically says both of them say that neither of them are going to be on their shows next week. Rumor.
Rumors.
Whatever.
This storyline is just overly stupid.
Yeah, I think it could work, but who knows. Next thing we got here is
it's really cheesy, kind of.
Yeah. Next thing we got here is we got Eve coming out and basically same music, but she comes out and cuts kind of a heel type promo. I think she did a good job. I think I think she's going to do a better job acting as a bad guy. I think a lot of wrestlers do that, you know. And she got the-
Eve looked super fine. I'm not gonna lie.
that's her whole thing. She's really playing this like Trish
She
Stratus when
really
she was
is
a
a
heel
gorgeous
type
girl. I'm
thing.
not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
I think it works.
wanted a
I
piece
think it
of
works.
Eve.
And it really set up what I hope they don't do, because I've heard rumors that they're not going to do a women's match at WrestleMania, but it looks like they may set up Eve versus Kelly Kelly at WrestleMania. So maybe no Beth
Yeah.
Phoenix versus Karma. I would hope to see
Maybe
that.
no, just even Beth versus Natalia or Beth versus Stratus or just any of those would be better.
Something other than that. But
Anything
yeah,
other than Kelly and Eve.
yeah.
Which it didn't lead up to because she had like a little backstage promo thing with Kelly. Like,
I could see it
and then
leading
Kelly's
up.
like playing it off. She's like, "Eve, I haven't seen you in forever," and Eve blows her off. It's like, "Yeah, I'd blow her off too. You just called me a fucking skag."
Yeah. All right.
They said friends out.
So next thing we got here, we got next matches: Big Show and Sheamus versus Cody Rhodes and Mark Henry. Squash, making Mark Henry look bad again, I guess. Sheamus
It's really
winning.
putting over the Bruce kick. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
the whatever it's called, and then they have basically gonna. It looks like they're gonna set up Cody Rhodes versus Big Show at WrestleMania here. I'm
see
not that
that.
upset about this. I think this could be okay, honestly.
I mean, if Cody goes over Big Show, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think that would be good, but that was basically the main event match. But God forbid.
God forbid, we gotta have the Rock.
So we have The Rock come out here, and
I was hoping he was gonna get booed. I
man,
really was. But
you know the thing. I've always been an Advent Rock fan. I've always been the person who, in the Attitude Era, that was my guy. The Rock was my guy over Stone Cold, DX, all those guys. He was the guy. But here, this promo was just an epic fail, in my opinion. Like
in my honest opinion, the worst Rock promo ever.
I mean, he was all over the place. Like he
He really
paused
was,
numerous
just
times.
everywhere.
He paused numerous times. He cut back and forth between different things. I really just get the feeling all he cares about is just trending stuff on Twitter. Like he doesn't even he doesn't even care about like. He's like, here, let me throw out a fact here, okay? And those of who are watching this video, after I do this video, I'm going to do a rant video on my own channel about this promo. And then here's a big point I'm going to make, okay? On Facebook, John Cena has almost 1 million more followers or whatever on Facebook. On Twitter, The Rock has almost 1 million more than Cena. Cena comes off as a guy who is like a more like approachable, cool, like laid back guy who's all about the wrestling business. The Rock comes off now as this giant asshole. Like he's a celebrity. You know, and he doesn't come off like he cares about the business like, you know, like Cena does. And I'm fully behind Cena on this whole thing now. I really am.
I hope Cena beats him. I hope Cena beats the hell out of him, like you said. Like the problem was like John Cena came out there, which I kind of thought this should have just been The Rock's time just to cut his promo, and then they both come out at the same time next week because Cena had a week before to throw a promo. Rock can retaliate, then they both come out and have their argument. But of course they're gonna throw Cena in there for a little bit. And it's funny when Cena's like minute and a half of talking was like better than anything The Rock said in like 20 minutes.
It was The Rock's whole thing with The Rock was bad. The only thing I liked was the camouflage line, which I'm almost positive he didn't come up with on his own. I'm almost positive a fan on Twitter probably tweeted that to him or something.
I like how Cena talked about The Rock having his script on his
his
on his
wrist.
arm.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna go on and say John Cena 2, Rock 0 right now because last week he got him, this week he got him.
It seemed like Rock got rattled like after Cena like threw down his microphone and was like keep trending stuff champ or whatever. Then he walked back and like the last like 3 minutes of the Rock's promo after Cena left was just utterly terrible.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
really went
the
back
Rock,
to
Dwayne Johnson and The Rock. The Rock and Dwayne Johnson, the greatest one ever. We're gonna electrify that one match at WrestleMania. I'm like, what are you talking
it really seems like he went back to a safe spot. Like he went back to a spot where he knew the fans would
did.
jump back on his
Started
side, you know,
his
because he knew
catchphrases altogether.
they knew pretty much Cena got him in that one again. So, but we're getting to the end here. This Raw review. Let us know what you guys think about
Raw was not good in
this whole thing. I mean, I thought it was a good Raw setting up for Mania, but I mean, some of the stuff that happened was.
I mean, it really only built like one match to me. It only built like Punk Jericho really well. I think the rest of it was just
I think the storyline is developing with The Rock and Cena. I think people are really like seeing The Rock as being that guy that people are just.
It's utterly terrible. It was bad. It did nothing for me. It kind of even hurt my excitement for the match a tad, which was hard to do. Really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
All right.
And then the rest of the show, like, and the fact they didn't build Triple H to Taker at all, just I don't know.
And give that.
It was a so-so fight. It started out really well.
I mean, Rock's probably not going to be there next week, so they got time for that. But yeah, we got to get out of here. This is our
I'm pretty
STS
sure he is. He's
Express.
going to be at the next like 3 or 4.
Okay.
He's only missing 1.
Gotcha. All right, well, this is our STS Express Wrestling. I'm the Mad Scientist. This is MVP Shear. And we're going to get out of here. Let us know what you guys think of this Raw
Yeah,
review.
all right. You got to add that in.
Our STS Express, man. Check us out. Peace.